As promised, here we are with Lionel. Every time something big breaks on Diddy, I'm not at home. But last night, when I was in London in my hotel and I saw the news break, I contacted Lionel, contacted Professor Hamamoto, and we've got this superseding indictment, which is a mouthful. But first off, Lionel, huge thank you for coming on. And what the hell is a superseding indictment?
It's unfair. It's almost like a mulligan in golf. It's like, well, we're going to clarify a few things. A lot of times, if they dismiss the indictment or parts of it, they'll say, "Well, but what I meant to say was," or, "Well, we've got some new information." Uh, this is a dog. This is a signal that this case, Shaun, this case has been. There's a word for what this case is. This has been around for 2004, 20, whatever years. You're clarifying the indictment now. What are you talking about? What 20? Well, we're adding a new drug. We added on sulfamethion. Okay, great. Who are these people? 3 people? 3? Am I reading this wrong? 3? They've had freak offs. 3? Now, I'm going to tell you something, Shaun. I don't think you really want to hear what I have to say about this because a lot of people are going to get upset. But do you want me to be politically correct or do you want me to tell you the truth as I would tell you if you were second chairing me and we're prosecuting this thing and I'm telling you, and you know a little bit about this, do you want to be nice about this or do you want me to tell you the truth? Because I don't think people really want, they haven't been thinking about the trial. Because as you know, my good friend, what you say happened means nothing unless the jury agrees with you. And if the jury doesn't agree with you, if the jury doesn't see it your way, it never happened. So you can talk about this stuff all day long. But let me get down to brass tacks. Who are our witnesses? Do we know this? Who are these people? What if I get, and here's the bad part. I'm sorry. I'm going to try to clean this up for YouTube purposes, okay? But there is a word. Well, let me go back. Just give me a preface. When a lot of these Sammy the Bull types and others, I don't know what I'm sorry, forgive me for these. I don't know if you can see these thumbs up things that pop up out of nowhere. Anyway, when Sammy the Bull and others testified, a lot of times it said, what if he comes across as retarded? You know, some kind of like, yeah, I tell you what, John Good Jr. It's like, this is our witness? Yeah, but he was there for the rub out. But he's a moron and he's obnoxious and they curse and they had to worry about this a lot. Sometimes if I know that I've got a witness out there, there's a complaining witness, and I'm going to get him upset, all I've got to do is just sit there and say, what do you mean? And I know they're going to get that street tough and maybe I can make them blow up. Now, let me tell you something. What happens if, God forbid, but like somebody will say, what if they went full, Bensonhurst or downtown? Or what if the guy put on his mafia? But what if I've got a witness who I found out goes full ghetto on me and I can snap her like that and have her lose her mind? I'm doing a little research. I get some investigators. Show me some of her social media. Who is this? Is this she's been in jail? She's been in charge? Drugs? Alcohol? Armed robbery? Who is this person? And if I get up there and I say, and here's some woman who isn't this 20-year-old, 18-year-old, hot, I'm sorry, I'm going to use terms that people might understand, some hot, Diddy freak out. But what if it's somebody who's in her 40s who walks in there with a bad wig on, and I can snap her, and all of a sudden she starts going crazy and goes full blown. I'm going to look at the jury and say, this is their witness. That's just one. We got two more. What if they don't like her? Let me give you an example. Let's say you're in the United States. You're a fine man from the UK. Now, in the United States, anybody with a British accent we think are smart for reasons I don't understand, but we do. If I play this up and I say, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to be Mr. Chips. I want you to come in and go, hello, boy. I want you to, because they'll think you're like, no matter what, this is the drug kingpin. It goes, hello, boy. Yes. You see, there's a girl. I was like, this is great. If you think I'm kidding, have you ever seen any YouTube, some Chipotle fight where somebody's all of a sudden four sisters together because they didn't get a barbecue sauce? They go, get your mother, and they start fighting in the wigs. Now, if you think I'm kidding, if you think, you might say, oh, you're big. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Let me get a hold of somebody and let me sit there and say, let me tell you something. What's your name, LaShandra? So you're supposed to be the victim? Is that it? What, 20 years ago? How much you making out of this? Now, that's legitimate cross-examination. If nobody got a hold of her and said, now, listen, this guy's going to go off. This guy's going to give you a hard time. She could lose her mind. And I'm going to say, good. What's the matter? I, one time years ago, was on a show. Remember the Ricky Lake show? Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
Ricky Lake? Maybe. Okay, vaguely. It was like before Jerry Springer. I was on and arguing with a woman named, you're going to think I'm kidding, Lasagna. I'm not kidding you. You think I'm kidding? You think I'm kidding? Lasagna. And Lasagna, I got right into her soul. And I mean, and I could look at her and say, let me tell you something. And I could see it. And she would say, don't disrespect. This is years ago. I said, oh, really? Oh, you think that's disrespect? Let me tell you something, honey. And she lost it. Now, let's assume I get this. So, Lasagna. Let's see. Look at this. What have you been up to? Oh, let's see. How's the drug rehab going? How many times you in that? And you this, and you were arrested. Let's assume. Now, if somebody comes up from this freak off who looks like Angela Bassett, they're nice. Good morning. How are you? I'm doomed. I'm through. We're going to plea. Diddy, we're done. We're finished. Same thing with you. Same thing with, there was a guy, but let me tell you something. This will work sometimes in reverse. Because you can have somebody who takes a stand, and her name could be Lasagna or Shanique or whatever it is. And she may say to you, you're right. I've had a tough road. I've been indicted and I've lost my kids. And one of the reasons why is because what that man did to me. I was a young, like I say, stop. So it works. It works. You never know. But unless I get to see the witness, I don't know anything. There was a guy years ago named John Veazey. John Veazey testified against Stanfa, whatever, in the Philly case. John Veazey, I think, has the IQ of a dart. I mean, this guy, John Veazey, look him up, Veasey. He was shot in the head, close range. He walked into a room. He saw plastic everywhere. Did not understand they're not doing 2 coats of paint. This guy, they shot him and he lived. Why? They shot him in the head. Worst place in the world. Shoot the guy in the ass. Now their story. He lived. And he died. And you could just go online. You could see the bullet hole. Okay. He took the stand. There he is. Look at this guy. He's got a couple of chromosomes missing. This guy covers the intelligence spectrum from A to B. He's like a speed bump. He's like a soap dish. He was the most incredibly, get a picture of his head. Get a picture of the back of his head. No, do me a favor. I can wait.
Who said?
If you get a chance, you're not going to believe this. So anyway, he's taking the stand. He was one of the best witnesses anybody's ever seen. He had a clarity where he can remember everything. I mean, he was so matter of fact. Yeah, we did it. So you killed him? Yeah. Oh, so you were a killer too, huh? Mm-hmm. And so you're telling me no? Yes. And it worked. So my point is, unless I know what these people are, and I got to get a lot of work because I'm going to find out who the witnesses are.